All right, I'd like to call the regular session of the Richmond Exempted Village School District back into session. First item on the agenda is to update the agenda with some additions, corrections. So what we're going to update with, we need a motion for this, right? So the motion would be that we're going to delete item 8E for substitute classified employee and move that to item 14. And we're going to call that substitute classified employee that we're going to vote on. And then item 15 will be adjournment.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Wells with the motion.
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Dufault. All right.
Roll call.
Roll call.
All right, Mr. Dufault?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmer?
Yes. All right, recognition and awards.
Dr. Coons, where'd you go? Time for the best part of the agenda.
Okay. I'm very excited. I have 2 members of our Monroe family to share this evening. So I'm just going to do both, and then we can recognize them after, if that's okay. So the first is Darcy Greason. Darcy is one of our 5th grade students, and she works very well at school, and she's very actively involved in her learning. Her teachers describe her as well prepared, eager to learn, and very goal-oriented. Darcy participates in Monroe Student Council, and there she is helpful and contributes to her ideas to the group. And recently, Darcy participated in an activity with the Student Council that they called Resiliency Rocks to display positive messages throughout our school building. And the Student Council opted to submit their rocks into a local contest, and Darcy's rock, called Your Adventure Awaits, actually was selected as the winner of the contest that was sponsored by the Coalition for a Drug-Free Claremont County. So I'd like to thank Darcy for being a positive student and role model at Monroe, and we are quite proud of her efforts and know that she will be successful in all of her adventures. So congratulations to Darcy. And I'd also like to recognize Mrs. Tracy Linder this evening for always demonstrating positivity and enthusiasm each and every day. Not only is she able to analyze and interpret academic data successfully, but she has been instrumental in the implementation of the CKLA Language Arts program for the district. Mrs. Linder is an accomplished teacher who consistently finds ways to help her students exceed learning expectations, finding creative ways to bring her curriculum to life. So I wanted to share an example of that with you. So I did pass out some soap sculptures for you to take a look at. You can't keep them, unfortunately. The kids are excited to get them back. But the students in her class recently finished a unit on the Renaissance. During that unit, not only did they modernize the Mona Lisa, but they all created their own soap sculptures, put them on display in an art gallery, and received fan mail for all of their work. So I'd like to thank Mrs. Linder for being a teacher that I've come to rely upon for her positivity, instructional practices, and her ability to engage students in the most creative ways. So thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Coons. Would you all like to come up and take a picture so we can promote this on our website? Darcy, you want to have your family come with you? No.
You're in front.
There we go. Right. You're fine. Hey. Oh yeah, there's always room.
3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
This one's Darcy.
Right, I know, right? Great last spring. Yes, that was fantastic. Thank you,
All right. Next on the agenda is superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Just 3 things. We're still moving forward with the transition to a 612 philosophy campus, and really excited about this. it's important to repeat again, because I know everybody here has heard this and will say it again. For the large swath of the kids and the staff, nothing's going to change. The only thing's going to change is there's going to be a new principal. That was going to happen anyway. What's going to happen is behind the scenes, staff members working together, collaborating, system-wide expectations, behavior, culture, climate, and academics. So we're really excited about this. Mr. Stewart's going to have a couple of transition teams formed to help blend the schools together. And we think it'd be wise if maybe like quarterly we'll do a check-in. Like in the first quarter, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Kozlowski will come forward. How's it going? Here's what we're working on. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So that is it for that. And be happy to answer any questions. We encourage people not to believe what they read on the internet. You know, this advice we give our kids, and sometimes adults forget that because incorrect statements are made on the internet. We're shocked. Come to me or Mr. Stewart for accurate information, and we want to get you correct information. We want to do that. So this is best for kids. This is best for kids. Speaking of this, is going to be good for everybody. People don't like change, but this will be a good change. We have a somewhat antiquated website that we use. Not somewhat, it's antiquated. And we like School Messenger. We use that. We use that a lot. Brought that in a couple of years ago. In the next some months, we're moving to a new platform called Aptigee. Mr. Shanklin's going to talk a little bit about this in his presentation. We're really excited about this. It's going to make our website ADA compliant. It needs to happen. And also, we're going to join the 21st century, and we're going to have an interactive app that people can use on their phones. So we're really excited about that. The rollout, it wouldn't make sense to do it now because our seniors are getting ready to roll out, and our pre-K and kindergartners are getting rolled in. We'll wait till they get on the roll. So we're looking at a launch probably sometime July 1st or after. And the third thing I want to talk about is we're very hopeful. Mr. Fry has done a great job writing a grant for the district for about $700,000. And what we'd like to do is there's a storage space on our middle school is to convert that into a health center. Many school systems have these. It's great for kids. It's great for parents. Great for our community. And then in our high school, in the old counselors wing, would be a location for Ohio Means Jobs, that they can work with their kids and get them prepared for the next chapter of their life. But that would take some architectural work. It'll take some money, which we don't have. So we'll hear about this grant, hopefully sometime in May. And Todd, I hope I didn't spill too much. I just told what you're going to talk about, my mistake. So Mr. Zimmerman, that's the superintendent's report.
Okay. No public participation was submitted, so we'll move to committee reports. Grant's up first.
Okay, grant report. We've not had a meeting since our last meeting here. It's actually this Thursday night, but we have a couple items. We lost a staff member over the weekend of March 2nd. Chad Graybill was a placement coordinator at Grant. Passed away from a medical issue, and unfortunate, very unfortunate, but his wife works there at the Grant also. There's going to be a memorial scholarship fund set up for him in his memory to be obviously given to one of the students, and then celebration of life on the 22nd for him. So if you would keep the Graybill family in your prayers and thoughts, that'd be appreciated. Also, the 15th is Friday. We had a board appreciation lunch for the staff up at Grant, where the board got together and served all the staff members. So it was rather interesting thing to do, but went well. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, next meeting is this Thursday night.
Okay. All right, safety committee report. We had a meeting February 23rd in this building. We had a multitude of emergency responders. We went through how we can use artificial intelligence to improve school safety and security. So we actually, each of the building principals used ChatGPT or the Claude program or something like that to talk, and they asked a question, how to improve safety and security at the school district or the building. So we went through that and showed how we can use that for the benefit of everybody. We also, one of the emergency responders brought up some information that he was at a session about bomb threats and how to handle them. We had one of those back about a month ago or two months ago. So we went through some of the key things we all learned as a group. So that was great. We gave school drills updates. You know, there are going to be a lot of severe weather drills coming up here in the next couple of months. It is the season for that. And then we talked about threat assessments, kind of did a brief review of how that's going, what we're seeing there. And that was a good summary of what we covered.
Pretty active meeting.
All right, business
Business
advisory.
advisors, similar, we also did a presentation on artificial intelligence. They were very engaged in what it could mean for our business advisory council. What are some ways that we can improve and increase attendance? So it was a great session with them as well. We also talked about, Mr. Stewart talked about the upcoming courses that we're going to jointly do with Grant in terms of bringing in some social media, some digital platforming to our high school, and they thought that was just fantastic. We also went through the secondary transition with them, and we thought it just made all the sense in the world.
Facilities.
All right. So we met, last week was the first time we've met in a while, so we had a long agenda to get through. As Mr. Miller was stating, there is a grant that Mr. Fry has written. Hopefully we'll hear something here in May, and for the amount of $700,000 to look at providing a student wellness center at the current middle school. As we all know, data pushes everything, so Children's was able to share that just at 45157 zip code, over 7,000 appointments were made last year at Children's. So they think it would be a great idea to have that center here for our students, K through 12. Also, part of that grant too is looking at some BCW, or the Ohio Means Jobs workforce, to look at the old guidance offices there at the high school and converting them over into some BWC offices where they can then reach out and work with our kids, kids that are on alternate pathways for graduation. They can help them find jobs and provide them a pathway to graduation. A couple other things we discussed. We talked about the updates and how old the current high school auditorium is. There's not been a lot of money stuck into that over the years. I know the sound system was updated a couple years ago, but looking at lighting and different things like that. So there was some information that was shared with us in regards to what that proposal may look like to update the high school theater lighting system. And then last on that list was just the 5-year maintenance and capital improvement budget, looking at roofing and blacktop, and et cetera, et cetera. So that was pretty much the facilities.
That was a great summary, and yes, I think it's important for everybody here, and maybe for those watching online, that was, it had been 6 years ago before I got here, that we used to have a PI budget of $1 million to take care of our properties and all the things that you just mentioned. As part of the cuts to try to stem the tide a little bit, that was cut to $500,000, so it was cut 50%. So you, Ms. Rose, made a great point. We'd love to have some lightings in our PAs and our auditorium and improve the PA systems. And the needs are endless. They really are. So thank you so much.
Is that grant tied to the Appalachia?
It is. And we feel it's a very compelling grant. We've got health services, we've got education, we've got the workforce. We have the 3 prongs that need to be for this grant. And it's legit. Like I think it's got a great chance.
Yeah.
Mr. Fry said it's the best grant he's ever written.
All right.
We'll see.
All right, human resource items.
Yes, just the consent items as we do every month. We have a number of resignations. We wish them well. The 2 shifts in administration to move to the secondary. Again, we're replacing the middle school principal with an associate principal. That's the only change there. We've been lucky to find 2 very qualified teachers to step in and help us out where we have some openings to get us through the end of the year. And that was moved to the end. I'm sorry, it's classified. And then on our spring supplementals, again, for the people who have seen many of these programs, it's in black, it's already been approved, and red is what is new. Just a very few names. We wrap up our 23-24 school year. Request for an unpaid leave of absence. to the end of the year. And Mr. Zimmerman, those are the consent items for human resources.
Okay, to make sure I get this information right here. So, it is recommended the Board of Education approve items 8A through 8H. Is that the way this?
Be 8A through 8G now.
Okay, 8A through 8G. Okay. All right, so it is recommended the Board of Education approve items 8A through 8G.
So moved.
That's not accurate.
You took E out, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
it's gonna bump up. It's gonna be 8, I'm sorry, I apologize. 8A through 8F.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
More time, Mr.
Okay.
Zimmerman.
Third time you start.
Yeah.
It is recommended the Board of Education approve items 8A through 8F.
Correct.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Yeah, roll call.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mrs. Story.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
Mr. Dufault.
Yes.
Item 9.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just asking approval for a separation agreement with a former staff member.
So
Okay.
moved.
Wait a second.
Oh, sorry.
It is recommended the Board of Education approve the separation agreement as presented.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Wells.
I'll second.
Sorry, Mr. Wooten. Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Dufault.
Yes.
Mrs. Story.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wooten. Yes. Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes. Okay, calendar.
Thanks so much. Just as mentioned last time, this is a second reading, asking for approval so parents and staff members can begin to plan ahead for a little bit for the 24-25 school year. I think it's a really nice calendar. The only thing that's different from last month to this month is we have the elementary parent-teacher conference dates on there. I think the buildings have all agreed on those. Don't have secondary just yet. So we can approve this if any changes come out as a result of negotiations, because a lot of the calendar is tied to the contract. I would come back and bring back a revised version of the calendar. This is a large percentage of it.
Would that just need one reading or two?
Yeah, we did it first and last month, so this will bring approval.
Okay. Upon second reading of the 24-25 school year calendar, it's recommended that the calendar be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
All right, Mr. Wooten.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Dufault.
Yes.
Mrs. Story.
Yes.
Treasurer's report and action items.
Thank you, Mrs. Zimmerman. Item A is the approval of the February Facilities Committee meeting minutes. Item B is the regular meeting minutes for February. Item C is our financial reports. We are just finished up the third quarter of the fiscal year, so we're 75% of the way there for our fiscal year.
Which one do you want?
That's fine.
This one?
Got a board report. Yeah, scroll down.
There we go.
So we're 75% of the way there. With revenue, we wait on big chunks of revenue come in with real estate taxes. So it's kind of hard to read even at 75%. We'll get a big spring payment come up pretty soon, and then expenditures are running below 75%, which is a good thing for us right now. We will probably bridge that gap a little bit towards the end of the year, just because we spend a little bit more on operations at the beginning of the fiscal year. But as far as salaries and benefits, they're pretty much right on schedule where we thought they'd be. Up a little bit from last year because of the federal COVID funds that have dried up. So we'll spend a little bit more this year, just naturally, because of those funds being gone. Item D is acceptance of donations. We do have 2 donations. We always appreciate those. Item E is 1 confirming purchase order. This was just an addition for a student getting educated. We already had a purchase order in place, but there was an additional charge because they need some extra services this year. It passes the $3,000 threshold, so the auditors like us to make sure that's a approving purchase order for you guys, confirming. Item F, speaking of the auditors, we have a appropriations resolution and 412 certificate. None of the numbers have changed. It's the last time we passed appropriations. They just want to see a certificate, which is at the bottom here. So I'm asking you to approve that, just so we're in compliance with what we do as far as state auditors are concerned. And that is all I have, Mr. Zimmer, for the treasurer's items.
Okay. It is recommended the Board of Education approve items 11A through item 11F.
Also moved.
Okay, Mr. Whitman.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Dufault. Discussion?
I do have one quick question, and I hate to put you on the spot, but I just saw it. So can you talk a little bit about House Bill 164 and Governor DeWine's 24-25 budget? Is that the same amount of money that we've gotten the last couple of years? Is that going to stay the same?
I'm just going to say it's back.
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot for that.
Anybody else? Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Duval?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes. Academic report.
Good evening. I was attending an educational conference at the time of the board meeting in February and didn't have the opportunity to provide an update about our PE day on Friday, February 16th. So I just wanted to share that all of our teachers worked really hard on that day, spent time in professional development on topics including de-escalation techniques, PBIS, the high school math and ELA teachers did a lot of unit planning all day that day. They worked on AI and education. PE teachers worked on their PE revision, and all of the teachers had time for personalized learning. So it was a really great and a productive day. I also wanted to give just a quick update on our adoptions and revisions. Our ELA teachers are in their second year of our ELA adoption, continue to do amazing things. The classrooms are exciting. The teachers worked really hard last year on the first year of that implementation, and I believe we'll see a lot of achievement and payoff on that. The kids are really doing some neat things in kindergarten through 12th grade. This is our first year of implementing our new math programs, Bridges K-5 and 6-12, the Envision program with Savas. Also, the math teachers are really in the middle of a very challenging year because they're both really intense programs that require a lot of preparation and work ahead of time on the part of the teachers. They're doing some fantastic things, and I can tell you from just being in some of the classrooms that I also believe that our math achievement scores and what's going to happen for our kids in the next few years is going to just be phenomenal. The teachers are working really hard. The kids love talking about math, and they're understanding things at a different level than I've seen before, so it's really exciting. Our committees on our science revision have received some sample materials from some of the bigger publishers that they want to take a look at. And I've been working with those publishers, and today actually got final confirmation that we'll have elementary presentations on April 2nd and secondary presentations on April 3rd. And then our committees will meet again, go through all of those, make some decisions about what they think is important, what primary programs, if any, that they want to adopt or recommend for adoption, and then any ancillary resources that they feel like would help our students.
Thank you, Dr. Joe.
All right, communications.
I have a lot of really just kind of random things this week. We're going to start with the app. The video that is attached.
So this video?
Yep, right there. These are examples of apps for schools around here that they have already launched. The first one is going to be Goshen. You can go full screen on this. Just if you want to, the bottom right corner. If you look at what it shows you right there, this is what it would look like when you load in the app. It has the feed at the top and an events section at the bottom. Goshen mostly just does athletic events, but if you click on the feed, that's what you will see. Photos, it looks exactly like a social media feed minus all the clutter of the likes, the comments, the shares, and things like that. You can go through and go back to the home page, and this is what the athletic events page would look like for Goshen. It has all of their athletic events. It ties in through Google. So once we export those events to Google, you can export to the calendar, and it would just change those automatically. Georgetown also uses Aptitude for it, and they're a little bit more involved. The app allows you to set up notifications, and I did this on my phone. So you can pick which buildings you want the notifications for. The district, one, the elementary school, the junior high school, or just athletics. There's a test one on there for Georgetown for some reason. I'm not sure why they have that there. But you can choose as many or few notifications from each building as you want, and it really customizes it to what our parents would need. Georgetown has more than just athletic events on their calendar. They do, I think there's a breakfast there. They have just picture days and things like that there as well. Georgetown also uses some of the other buttons that they have that allow you on the menu. You can go to progress book, links to safety issues like we have for Stay Safe, Speak Up. They also have a link to the cafeteria. Some people link through the app to their cafeteria page on the website. Other districts use the app itself as the cafeteria page and post what the meals are going to be each day. It just really depends on personal preference. Another thing that Georgetown does really well is use it for athletics. Doug and I have talked before about wanting to make our website stronger for athletics, and Georgetown uses that feed to get out a lot of information quickly, things about players of the week, the schedules, things like that, and all it would change for Doug is where he logs in. Instead of logging into Twitter, he would log into ThrillShare, which is what uses to put the website together, and he could push the notifications out to the app, he could push the calendar events out through the app and to other social media platforms at the same time without having to log into 4 or 5 different places like we currently do now. I have logins for Facebook, Twitter, the website, School Messenger, and I believe there's one more login that I use occasionally if I need to send something out through Instagram specifically. But right now, Apogee and ThrillShare will do all of that for us.
And also, we'll send out text messages, phone calls.
Text messages, phone calls. It's School Messenger, all of our social media apps, and an app itself for parents into one platform. So
It's going to be great.
I'm really looking forward to using a website that was designed sometime in this century. It's going to be an interesting experience. So one of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about here was this past week there was a chess tournament at our middle school, and Andrew Helton, he's up here, he's right there, actually put this together. He's been doing it for the last couple years. The people that you see in the photo there are brother and sister. Elizabeth and John Cherry, they made it to the finals of the tournament. John ended up winning. And there were about 50 kids, depending on the time of year, involved. They had a tournament. Instead of randomly seeding them like has been done in the past, they actually worked together to kind of seed them based on skill. And there were some upsets, as you would expect with a March Madness tournament. But in the end, John was able to come back and pick up from where he left off last year. He didn't win the title last year, but he did this year. And he actually told me that he was surprised that he ended up facing Elizabeth in the tournament. Elizabeth beat the defending champion to get to where she was. And so John and both of them learned to play chess from their dad, and both of them have gotten various pieces of enjoyment out of it for different reasons. John likes the strategy of it, Elizabeth just likes to play the game. So it was a really cool thing to put together, and I kind of wanted to get the word out here before the story goes live on our website sometime, I think tomorrow afternoon. Just a couple of other quick notes that don't have any graphics associated with them. John Fry recently made me aware of the United Way 211 service. Anyone out there who needs help with basic needs like food or clothing, baby supplies, and things like that can dial 211. And the United Way has resources available to help those people. We're going to talk about more of that on our social media pages here in the coming days. Traversa Ride 360 is changing their app. The app that we've used rolled out last year is going to be sunset on May 1st. They're replacing it with one called My Ride K12. It's the same login, the same company, it's just a different app. So you have to go, parents are using that, need to go download that app to continue using Traversa Ride 360. Also, our senior slideshow is coming up because this is March all of a sudden. And first and last names, baby pictures, a current picture, and post-graduation plans need to be sent to seniorslideshow@NREVSD.com by March 31st. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shank. Great.
All right, now we're on the new item 14, which is
It would be substitute classified employees. Bailey Brock.
So it is recommended the Board of Education approve the employment of Bailey Brock.
Also move.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Abstain.
Mr. DePaul?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. Item 15 is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Hall?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood? Yes. Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
6:39.
Thanks, everybody. Cool. Yes.